Beneath Megaria's barren crust, at the centre of the Necrons' repair crypt, an overlord of the Saracen dynasty awakens from stasis to find intruders inside its inner sanctum. Void Scythe in hand, it strides forth, ready to strike down those who would dare to disturb it. Hey there guys, welcome back for another Warhammer 40,000 Imperium playthrough. This week we are playing through the issue 8 playthrough, which features the Necron Overlord that we got with this issue against 3 Primaris aggressors. So, going through the setup first, we place the Necron Overlord on marker A. This is using the small mat. We place the Assault Captain on C, or Sergeant, sorry, not Captain. The Aggressor Sergeant on C, and then the other 2 aggressors on D and E. So the objective is to eliminate the other opponent. So nice and simple this time. The Lord obviously has to beat the aggressors and vice versa. So before I get started, or before you continue watching the video, put down in the comments who you think would win this one, and then see if you're right towards the end of the video. So, no new rules in this one, in the sense that, if we get the rules up here, so there's nothing new in the sense of new abilities, tactics or anything like that. However, the fight sequence has changed a little bit. Now previously we would do the fight sequence where the charging model would fight, and that would be it. The opponent wouldn't get a go. Now we're actually having it where the opponent gets to fight per combat phase as well. So the way the sequence now works is, say it is the aggressor's turn and they charge, they get to fight first. So they do all their attacks first. Anything that charged attacks first. Then the opponent gets to attack with his models, or with a model, a single model first. And then the player whose turn it is gets to fight with a model, obviously one that hasn't charged that turn because the chargings have already had their go. And then you go backwards and forwards until every combat has been resolved. So in the case of this, obviously if we had the Overlord make the charge and it's his turn, he would attack, and then the Space Marine player would get his turn, so he would attack back. And then next turn, assuming they were already in combat and it was the Necron's turn again, the Space Marine would attack first because it is not his turn. Then the Necron would attack back. Now personally I think that's a little bit wrong, because it means that the players whose turn it is could potentially lose their model before they even get a chance to attack. And as it is that player's turn, that player should have the initiative. I think back in the day we did used to use initiative back in the earlier editions, and you would go by the initiative per combat. That model would fight first, or I think towards some of the later editions it switched to whoever's turn it was got to attack with their model, and then the opponent would attack back with that model, and then you would work through all the combats like that. However, they've now switched it around so that whoever's turn it is not, they get to attack first, other than charging units always attack first, which doesn't really make sense to me, but that's the way the rules go. So other than that, we'll just take a quick look at the stats here. So obviously the aggressors, we know we've got the 5-inch move, the weapon skill 3+, so they hit on a 3+. They have the 3 wounds, strength 4, toughness 5, 3 attacks, and a save of 3+. I don't know why they've put the wounds here. Usually this comes after toughness. They've done it the other way around here. There's no ballistic skill here, but for aggressors, a ballistic skill isn't really needed, as the Flamestorm Gauntlets, when shooting, hit automatically anyway. We do have the Flamestorm Gauntlets. We obviously went over it last time. They are an assault 2d6. This means when it is the aggressor's turn to attack and they are firing, you roll 2d6, and that's the number of hits that are automatically made. So obviously if you roll 12, then you've made a very good hit, and you get 12 automatic hits on the opponent. And the weapon is a strength 4, no AP, and then obviously the opponent would then get to save. If they are in melee range, then the strength is the Space Marine times 2, so it would actually be an 8 for the gauntlets. And then we've got a -3 AP. When attacking, subtract 1 from each hit roll, so they're a little bit cumbersome. So obviously you need a 3+. If you roll a 3, then you subtract the 1, making it a 2, so you wouldn't actually hit. But anything higher, so a 4, 5 or 6 would hit in melee. Then for the Overlord, obviously this is the first time we see his stats. He's got a 6-inch move. He's got a weapon skill of 2+, so he's definitely good in melee. He's got a 5 wounds, so a little bit tougher than the Marines. Strength 5, toughness 5, so again he's stronger than them, same toughness. A 4 attacks, so with his scythe he gets to hit 4 times, and a 3+ save. And then obviously we've got his weapon is the Void Scythe. It's a melee weapon, again strength times 2, so it's actually 10, but an AP of -4. And then again when attacking, subtract 1 from each hit roll. And also he has his living metal ability, so at the beginning of his turn he will automatically regain a lost wound, back to a total of 5, or up to a maximum of 5 I should say. Apart from that, obviously at the bottom of the sheet here we have the wound roll. We'll go through that as we roll for wounds, and that is the quick run through of the stat sheet. So I'm going to set up my dice tray. Now that we've got that out of the way, I'll put my dice tray here. Hopefully we can get all of this in frame. So yeah, close enough. We should be able to see the dice roll there. Get me dicey out and me tape measure. So let's sit back up. Right, so the way the rules or the playthrough says, Necrons go first. Now he's got a 6-inch move, so obviously I've pulled the measure out to 7 inches, but he is actually 6 inches away. And remember guys, you cannot be within a 1-inch range of the Space Marine, so we can only move him up to 5 inches. And now for the next phase, so that's the movement phase done. For the charge phase, obviously we're going to charge into the Space Marine. Now, as I've said before, you're going 1 inch because we're 1 inch away, and we get to roll 2 dice. So you're going to roll a 2, makes it an automatic charge for me. So I won't bother rolling. I always just put him into range. You know you've hit it. If there is any contradiction to that, if you guys know of something that a reason why that shouldn't be done, then obviously let me know down in the comments. But as far as I understand the rules, there is no reason you can't just do that to, you know, speed up time a little bit quicker. Save on dice rolls. So that's the charge phase done. So now on to the combat phase. So for the combat phase, the Necron charged, so he gets first turn. And obviously he is going to attack the Space Marine. So he gets 4 attacks with his scythe, needing 2s or more. Right, so that one's a fail. Everything else, now remember, we have to subtract 1 from each hit roll. So that becomes a 3, this becomes a 5, and this becomes a 2. Now he needed a 2+, so all 3 hit. The Space Marine saves on a 3+ and fails 2 of them. So he is down to 1 wound already. So he has 1 wound left. Right, and that is the end of the Necron's turn. So, moving on to the Space Marine's turn, what we are going to do first, because we are within range here, this Space Marine is only allowed to fall back. So we're going to move him back out of the way because we want to shoot with these 2 guys. So we're going to move him 5 inches away, just move him back. That's his movement. I do believe that's how you do fall back. I don't think it's a dice roll. So he's moved back. We are going to, let's see, move the aggressors in. So they are going to move in 5 inches. So 1 there, and then the other one's going to be about the same. Back. And they are both going to fire. So we'll roll for this guy first. Now this will be 5 hits, so they automatically hit. And now we need to roll to wound, so we roll 5 dice, needing 5s or more. The reason we need 5 or more is the strength of the weapon is 4, but the toughness is 5. And on the wound chart, if the strength is lower than the toughness, we need 5s or more. So looking at this, we hit with 1 dice. So the Necron needs to make 1 save. And he fails. So he has lost a wound, bringing him down to, I believe it is, yes, he comes from 5 to 4 wounds. Next, we're going to fight with the guy at the top here. So same again, roll 2 dice and a total of 11 hits. Oh, this could be good. So here we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 dice. And bring both hands in here. Okay, so see if we can get this tray here. We need 5 or more to wound. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds. So the Necron needs to save on a 3+. And he saves all of them. Look at that. He's pretty tough to wound. Right, so that's the Space Marines shooting phase over. Next is the assault phase. So what we're going to do now is have this guy charge. Now, because these weapons are assault 2d6, it does mean that we can charge with them. After firing, you can shoot and charge. So for 7 inches, obviously we can tell that that makes it. So he gets into melee range. And for the top guy, again 7, and so he makes it into melee range. That's the charge phase. So now we move on to the combat phase. So because the Space Marines, it's the Space Marines' turn and they charged, we will attack with this guy first, then this guy, and then the Necron gets his turn, because you do all charges first. And obviously that's assuming the Necron is still alive. So the assault, the aggressor down here gets 3 attacks, and he needs a 3 or more to hit, -1. So obviously that's a fail anyway. This becomes a 5 and this becomes a 4, so both hit. And the strength of the weapon is more than double of the double the toughness as the strength for the weapon. We'll bring this in here. The strength is ×2, so it is 4 × 2 is 8, and toughness 5. Oh no, so it's not double, but it is greater, and so we wound on 3s or more. So one fail, and the other one, bring it out here, is a 4, so that's a success. So the Necron needs to save on a 3+, and he rolls a 1. So that's another wound lost. He's now down to 3. Could be a very short video, this one, guys. Alright, now for the other aggressor, again 3 dice, needing 3s -1, so that's a fail, and again 2 hits, and again needing 2s to wound. Both wound. We've got a 5 and a 3, and so we need 3s to save. We've got a 3, however the gauntlets are a -3 AP, so he does not save either of them, so he has lost both. And I think I made the last save as a -1 AP, so I may have got that one. He is now down 2 wounds, so he has 1 wound remaining. However, you guys have probably noticed, and I think I may have done it, he should actually be dead. But we'll give him his 1 wound. And for the final part of the combat phase, it's now the Necrons Attack. And so he gets his 4 attacks, needing, oh, there's 1 dice gone, needing 2s, and so that was a terrible roll. So he made 1 hit, and as the strength is ×2, that means the strength is 10 and the toughness of the Space Marine is 5, and so we only need a 2+ because it is twice or more. So 1, 2 or more, and he fails miserably. So that didn't work. Right, so Necron's turn. Now, obviously, movement phase, he's already there. He doesn't have a weapon, so there's no need to fall back or anything like that. Although I did get it wrong in a previous video, guys. If you fall back, you can't shoot. There are certain weapons that can, or certain rules that allow you to. But if you fall back, you can't fall back and shoot. I don't know if that was mentioned in previous rules. However, I did play as you could shoot. But in an upcoming issue, it does state that you can't fall back and shoot. It's you fall back and then you can't shoot. So straight onto the combat phase. So no charges were made. Obviously they were already in combat, which means it's the Space Marines first go for combat. So we're going to do the aggressor down here. So he gets 3 attacks, needing 3s or more, and all hit. And the strength is 8 because obviously it's ×2, and the toughness of the warrior is 5, so we need 3s or more as we are greater but not more than double. So we have 5, a 4 and a 2, so that's 2 wounds, or at least 2, well, yeah, 2 wounds. So the Necron warrior needs to save both of these in order to stay alive, so he needs 2s or more. So we have a 2 and a 4. However, the gauntlets are -3 AP, which means the Necron doesn't get to save because that becomes -1 and that becomes 1. And so the Necron Overlord is dead. So that's the end of the game, guys. Nice quick one there. Obviously, you can play this through as many times as you like. For obviously me, I'm just teaching you guys or showing you guys playing through. So if you want to watch me play through it again and point out any mistakes that I've made, I'm sure I made a couple there, but you can play through the video again. If you enjoyed the video though, guys, give it a thumbs up. If I get enough likes on these videos, then I will continue making them after issue 10. However, as things are going, it's not looking like you guys are enjoying them. Obviously, you know, it is aimed at some more beginner types. Some of you may already know the rules. I may not be doing these how you like. If you have any feedback and suggestions, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, if you like the video, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy at least the painting videos or the channel, then please support by hitting that subscribe button, ding that notification bell, and you'll get notifications of when new videos go live. Unfortunately, I was a little bit late. I am a week and a half late because I was waiting to paint the Necron Overlord here. I was waiting for the paint that I've done on him here. You can check the video for that in the card here, and check out the painting that I did. This blue metallic paint, if I can show it. It doesn't show great on camera, but it gives a bit of a purple tone in the darker areas and then more of a blue in the lighter areas. It's a colour shift paint, but go check out the video for that, and leave a like on there as well. But yeah, that's the Necron Warrior. Anyway, guys, I'm rambling on a bit, so I'm going to cut out here. That's all from today. So remember, guys, until next time, take it easy. Keep painting those minis.